Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanished. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
This is the day that the Bloods go look for Crips.
Friday, May 9th is known among gangs as Hoover Day, a day affiliated with retribution.
Prosecutors say Chambers carried out a revenge hit on the father of 5. Both had been involved with the same woman, and a gang boss accused Canady of stealing a large amount of marijuana.
Run high after a deadly shooting in Oak Park.
I'm going to show you some pictures from our news chopper that show people, if you look at some points, they're pushing and shoving police, also members of the news media. According to his family, the victim in this situation is the owner of a local barber shop that had just opened a few months ago.
NBC7's Artie Ojeda has been in the middle of it all this afternoon. He has an update now on what police are saying about all this. Artie?
Monica and Catherine, right now homicide investigators are here at 54th and Redwood, where the body of a man is inside the Official Cuts barber shop. The shooting happened just after 11 o'clock, and there was anger, there was sadness, there was just incredible emotion pouring out onto the streets.
He opened up a business and he always took care of his children. You make sure you tell them that. Do you understand me? I know them all his life.
And I have to tell you that much of the emotion and frustration was aimed at the news media here to cover this shooting. Dozens, if not close to 100 people were here as word of the shooting spread in the community. Right now, police say they have no leads, no suspects, but have taken several people into custody for questioning. A business owner across the street told me he heard at least 6, maybe 7 shots, but did not see anything leading up to the shooting. Family says the victim is 32-year-old Lamar Canady, who opened up the barber shop about 3 months ago. He's the father of 4 children, including a young baby girl.
He was just a wonderful guy. My nephew was, like I said, ambitious, smart, funny, witty. He was a lot of things, you know. Like I said, he had a wonderful wife, 4 kids. You know, he worked. He wanted, like I said, he wanted to serve his community.
Back live in Oak Park, you could see one officer there looking inside the barber shop. The medical examiner has just shown up to the scene. Again, right now, police are not giving us a whole lot of information about this shooting as they continue their investigation. They say it's too early to say whether or not this is gang-related, but they do say there are several security cameras here, and right now they are looking at that video to see if it possibly gives them any clues to this fatal shooting here in Oak Park. Live in Oak Park.
New tonight, the family of Lamar Canady tells 10 News reporter Riel Creighton how today's date may have played a huge role in the man's murder.
Well, it is a small but growing memorial tonight outside of this barber shop. This as police now turn their focus to search for the suspect, the man who walked into this barber shop up to Lamar Canady and fired. Outside of Lamar Canady's Oak Park barber shop, friends and family came to pay their respects. Quiet and solemn, but still in disbelief.
For someone to take his life wasn't right.
A different scene from hours earlier.
No! It's my brother!
As the news spread, the crowd came in waves, pushing and shoving, overwhelmed with emotion. Some detained while police tried to conduct a murder investigation. Canady, a father of 4, including a newborn, family says killed after he changed his life.
He gave back to us, we gave back to him. This is how he supported us.
Opening this barber shop, Official Cuts, in January, his cousin told 10 News it was helping others get back on their feet, giving them jobs. But pictures on his Twitter page show another side of Canady, holding up what appeared to be gang signs. A well-known aspiring rapper, his music was even more revealing. Family says he used to be in a gang but hadn't been a member of the Crips in over 2 years. But they do believe his murder was retaliation.
Canady recently taped himself rapping about gangs, though his family said he left that life. The theme at the vigil was Stop the Violence.
Changes that have to be made, and I'm going to work with the police department to make sure that we're safe.
There were prayers and hymns and words of forgiveness.
But to the person that did this, I forgive you. Because that's the type of person my brother was.
No arrest yet. Police are looking into possible gang retaliation. The funeral is being planned for late this week. Steve Fiorina, 10 News.
The two men accused of murdering a barbershop owner in Oak Park carried out what's being called a professional-style execution.
That's what prosecutors said today as Ian Guthrie and Peter Johnson faced a judge. It was an emotional scene in Oak Park the day of the murder. This was last May that you see there. 10 News reporter Jared Aarons was in court for this morning's preliminary hearing. And Jared, the emotions are still pretty raw for the victim's family, aren't they?
Very raw, Jason. Virginia. About 24 members of Lamar Canady's family were in court today. Some of them wearing T-shirts with a picture of Canady, the victim, on them. And a lot of them started crying this morning as soon as testimony began. Now, that was the emotional scene the day of the murder. This morning, detectives outlined the trail of evidence that led them to Peter Johnson and Ian Guthrie, whose faces were not allowed to show. They say this surveillance footage shows Johnson at a liquor store next door to Canady's barber shop, and in it he touches a couple of cans of beer. Detectives were able to pull DNA and fingerprints off of those cans and identify Johnson. Police say Canady, shown in this picture, was shot 14 times, most of them in the head. His family is still looking for answers.
What he did, and to stand up in that courtroom with no remorse, with nothing on his face, straight, bare look, that's not going to work for this family.
We just want to make sure that he gets what he rightfully deserves.
Prosecutors also say that Guthrie and Johnson are career criminals, both of whom have murder convictions already on their records. The hearing continues this afternoon. Live at the Hall of Justice, Jared Aarons.
Now, niggas will kill you over some money or some drugs, but they'll really, really, really kill you over a chick. Hey, what's the word? Shay's Popalot. Salute the almighty mob. We in San Diego. It's a whole lot of mob shit going on. If you in the town, from the town, or been in the town, we definitely need y'all in the comment box to see what side y'all on. Now, today I'm going to do my best to try to tell y'all the story of a beloved Bay Area rapper that will find himself on the opposite side of a hit because of a missing package and a broken heart, according to authorities. Now, the person that we're covering today is going to be a guy by the name of Lamar Canady, but he's better known on the Bay Area music scene by his stage name, CW3. Now, according to multiple media outlets, they would claim that CW3 will have a close affiliation with the West Coast Crips, formerly known as the West Coast Mafia Crips. Now, based on everything that I researched about that set, it would show that the West Coast Crips is a San Diego chapter of the South Central Los Angeles East Coast Crips. So, in a sense, what sounds like a brother set. Now, nowhere I really read links Lamar Canady as being a direct member of this group, with most outlets describing him as pretty much an affiliate. But if you listen to some of his music and the circumstances surrounding his murder, with his family saying that he was on the right path and trying to change his life, and him having songs like All the Crips Came Out, that would kind of give you an idea of how close he was affiliated to this group. And unbeknownst to me, the day of his murder, May 9th, would be a somewhat infamous day in the state of California, according to certain media outlets, with them labeling it as Hoover Day. Now, I'm no gang expert by far, but the numerous people that I do have relationships with and I have spoken to say that the Hoovers are one of, if not the most hated set or gang in California. Now, if we got anybody tapped in from Cali, tapped in from San Diego on the West Coast, y'all ever been, y'all get in the comment box and y'all debunk this if it's a myth, and y'all stamp it if it's the truth for these people. Now, with Lamar Canady being murdered on this specific day in his barbershop, at the time of his death, it would be a lot of mystery surrounding it, with people asking, was he targeted for his association with this gang? But when the details would emerge of exactly why he was shot more than 10 times in a barbershop that he had just purchased months prior, it would be way more complicated than a gang retaliation. Now, according to court document, they would allege that CW3 would be murdered for incidents that would occur more than a year prior to his death. And though they don't detail what would occur first, I'm going to let you guys speculate as to what was the action that actually tipped the scale. Now, I'm not sure when and I'm not sure how much, but during the trial of Deion Chambers and Ian Patrick Guthrie, a duo that the government alleged that Omar Grant hired to murder CW3, the state would allege that one of the motives for the murder would be a large amount of marijuana that would come up missing. And like I said before on this channel, we all know how people play about work and money. But the prosecutors would double down on their case even more by essentially saying that if the missing pack wasn't enough, they would allege that CW3 would sleep with the girlfriend of Omar Grant, a female by the name of Talia Martin. Now, if I had to think about more reasons that you would want to murder somebody besides anything with somebody's kids, I really can't think of one. Now, besides those two motives, the government will also use surveillance footage from a nearby liquor store to pretty much connect the two gunmen to the May 9th, 2014 murder of Lamar Canady. Now, they don't really go into detail and explain how they would connect those two to Omar Grant, but it didn't really matter because Guthrie and Chambers would take the case to trial. They would both end up being convicted and sentenced to life. Now, with the government paying Omar Grant to be what looks like the mastermind, I try to look up the status of his freedom or any impending court dates that he might be looking at, and I couldn't find anything. But with them labeling him as a drug kingpin that's responsible for ordering the hit, I kind of doubt that he's walking out here free, but if he was, it wouldn't surprise us, I don't think. But y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all definitely hit the comment box and let me know what was the deciding factor on that hit. Now, was it the pack or was it the chick? Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we got wrong, what we missed, what gangsters we need to cover. Now, if anybody was fans of CW3 and y'all familiar with his music, y'all get down in the comment box and let people know what they need to check out. Now, I know he did have music with Nipsey Hussle. If any of y'all looking to check that out, y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Until next time, y'all know the rules. Salute the almighty mob.